All right, Lexus SC430 rear pads and rotors. Thank you, camera, for adjusting your service is very much required here. All right, here we have a 17 millimeter bolt, one at the top, one at the bottom, holding the caliper. I'm just gonna loosen it up so I can take it off easier. I don't know why I like to do this. I typically will loosen them and then take them off afterwards. But let's go ahead and loosen this retainer clip a little bit. Take off this cotter pin right there. And now to take off the guide pin that's holding it, more or less. Now, for some reason, I decided to use needle nose pliers for every little thing, only because I didn't want to walk back and forth. Yeah, I was lazy, sue me. All right, that's loose. Now this should be able to come out quickly. Boom. So I didn't show it, but you always want to lubricate that pin a little bit just so it makes things easier in the future. If you have some grease, and that comes in handy. These definitely help when it has to slide back and forth, because as you can see, one pad is worn more down than the other. Also, here, if you don't have the tool to do this specific type of caliper, then you can kind of do this, but you are going to need at least a pry bar just so you can squeeze that, or sorry, so you can compress the piston back in there. And then we'll do that on that left side right now. But you'll see that I reuse at least one of the pads to hold the other one while I compress the left side. Here we go. All right, that one, stick that one in there. I'm gonna use that just to give me some more tightness, and I'm gonna go ahead and compress that. Yeah, so like I said, this you can do if you don't have the specific tool for the dual piston setup with this particular caliper. Definitely an easy workaround with this one. All right, let's get those two caliper bolts off. I swear, man, electric tools are the way to go. Unless you run out of batteries, then it kind of does suck. But that typically never happens, since I usually have two and I'll recharge them whenever. And they last long enough, you know, where you can definitely go a few days without having to worry about them dying. All right, let's get this rotor off. Hammer time. I am smacking it, as you can see, only because it's not going to be reused. If you are going to go ahead and turn them and get them resurfaced, I would definitely not do the whole smacking it behind on the face of the rotor. All right, that's loose. At this point, go ahead and inspect the shoes. Sometimes they'll be unevenly worn or just worn, and they'll need replacing, so make sure to do that, and also adjust them with the new rotor. Not the way I typically like to go on about things, but we are in a particular situation here, so this is what we're gonna have to do. All right, putting in that lower bolt and that upper bolt, as you can see with my fingers. Definitely don't want to start using any sort of power tools, electric tools, right at the beginning, because stripping that booger is not recommended. But once you have a few threads in, then I would say, hey, go ahead and bring whatever tool you're using, and here we go. All right, that's on. That's on. I'm gonna go back with my long extended ratchet wrench and make sure those guys are tight. I really love the length of these ratchets. Just, they are pretty convenient. I can typically get, 90% of all caliper bolts on and off with these things. They're pretty nice. Snap-on does have their own version of these, but they are, in my opinion, slightly overpriced. Do I have them? Yes. Do I use them? Not as often as these. Only because of that little extra bit that these particular ones have. They make life so much easier. And the Snap-on ones are a little bit more, I would call them lower profile. So, but they haven't come in handy when I needed them. All right, new pads are in. We're gonna install this clip. Depending on what kind of pads you buy, it will come with a new clip and a new retainer as well. So see, put those in the slots right there. Also, I would recommend taking pictures when you're taking this off, only because you kind of forget the orientation. At least I do sometimes. So when I know I'm gonna forget, like, hey, I have too much going on over here, then I definitely take pictures. So make sure that guy goes in there, and then it'll just kind of clip on to both pads, and it'll be firmer. Here we go. It sits in and then kind of presses on the left and the right once you get it in there. All right, that's that. I need to get that in there and put that little pin on the right. Also, make sure not to lose that one, because that one tends to get lost very frequently. Ta-da! It's in. All right. Cool. That's set. What else we got? Just make sure that's set and you're good. All right. Thanks for watching.